and welcome back to Liquid Lunch this Monday, August 16th. We're so glad to have you with us. And we're back with Lorraine Leslie is here, owner and publisher of Women with Vision magazine. Glad to have you here. Lorraine and I have known each other for a while now. I'm one of her contributors. And Lorraine, how was your trip in this morning?
3-hour drive was very pleasant. The sun was shining and birds were flying around, and
Did you have a convertible top down today?
No, actually, I got rid of the convertible.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, got an SUV. It's easier to deliver.
Oh, you know what?
Magazines.
I did the same thing.
Where'd you come in from?
I came in from Blue Mountains,
nice.
just north of Collingwood. Yeah.
Oh, nice
It's
area.
a nice area.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you took the time to come down. Lorraine, I want to ask you quite a bit about Women with Vision magazine. I know you do the magazine, you do their speaking series, some events, and also there's the TV show. I don't know if it's still going, or I assume it is.
TV's in sabbatical right now. We're looking to pick it up again.
And you also do a coaching program.
Right.
So let's just start at the whole beginning of it, and I want to ask you, how did you just come to create Women with Vision, or how did you have the foresight to even think to do the magazine, where it all started from?
Actually, it was an epiphany.
It was?
I was going through a transition in my life, a former police officer, and then into the fitness field and personal training, but went through a transition in my life about 12 years ago. And one moment I just realized that in my entire life I've been helping women, and realized that through my life experience in marketing and promoting my own fitness business, that I could help people market and promote their business. So as a result, I took a job with a travel agency, and from that an event was created, and the event was called Women with Vision, which was a speakers event, and we had Linda Lundstrom and Valerie Gibson and Linda Leatherdale as speakers, so it was a pretty high-profile event. And from that, I started the Women with Vision networking luncheons, and that was 12 years ago. And a spin-off from that became the one-page newsletter, which is now a full publication, which is subscribed to across Canada. Yeah, that's it. Short, sweet, 12 years.
And I also want to mention that we do have a 1-year free complimentary subscription as a giveaway today to the first caller in. So get on the phones. Help me, 416-204 6. What's the last? Sorry,
9723.
9723. So get on the phones and call in and win your free subscription to this magazine, because it's excellent. And how many times a year does it come out now?
4 times a year.
4 times a year.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So getting back a bit, do you have some questions?
Well, so Vision magazine. So you were saying that it's across Canada, and how many go out?
25,000.
25,000.
Yes.
And you've been doing it for 12 years.
12 years. Started with the one-page newsletter handed out at our networking luncheons.
Right.
And that distribution was 50 copies. So we've grown quite a bit.
Right. And you say you were originally a police officer?
Yes, I was here in Toronto.
Now, you said that you realized that you were always helping women. Were you working in a capacity as a police officer where you were helping women, or?
Absolutely. I was working in the Women's Bureau. So anything that had to do with women in abusive situations or traffic accidents, whatever we were called to do. We also work with the Youth Bureau we're going back to Yorkville, which was a long time ago, but anything that had to do with women, I was involved with it and helping them.
And then as a capacity as a fitness coach, were you also specializing?
Yes, it was women.
So I guess I don't need to be here. So
No, not true.
No, we're going to get into your feminine side.
My question then is, your mandate for Women with Vision, you say, is to help women market and promote themselves, but it's more than that, right? Because the magazine's divided into different sections.
Our mandate is to educate, motivate, promote, and inspire women in business and daily living. But we've expanded way beyond that, because now we have male writers.
There you go. Male writers.
There you go. Look
at that. Our articles are generic, so that both male and female do learn from what we're writing, and so we've become kind of co-ed publication, but it's the name, as you can see on the magazine, primarily says Vision, but the company name started out as Women with Vision.
So the magazine's divided into different categories, right? One is
Yes.
lifestyle, one is business and communications.
We have business, finance, and communications, health and wellness, fashion and beauty, Georgian gourmet, motivation and inspiration, and I think that's it.
And what can your subscribers expect every single time is a different article on these topics, right?
Absolutely. Everything changes 4 times a year. We have writers that are long-term writers like yourself, and we also have writers that come in periodically. So we have a staff of 34 writers that we work with.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long does it take to put an issue together?
Well, are you talking from the graphic design component?
Yeah, like from the whole thing, from conception to getting it ready to go
well,
on stage, getting the
the
articles
next
in.
issue that comes out the Labor Day weekend, it's taken us 3 months to put together.
Wow.
But that includes gathering all the articles, selling the advertising, doing the photo shoots. I do my own photography for all the food and that type of
so
thing.
you're a photographer too.
Yeah, yeah. We also do profiles on certain people, so I will go out on site and do the interview. I'll also do the photography there as well. Also collecting pictures that are relative to the articles, you know, so that people can see the transition. Like the feature person, it is a story of their life from childhood to where they are today.
Right. And how do you decide who's going to be one of your cover stories?
That's the magical part about this. They come into my life, and I guess I have an intuitive sense, my sixth sense, that during our conversation, all of a sudden I go, tell me about your life. And I know instantly that there's a story there, that there's lessons that they've learned that can be shared with others. Because that's what it's all about, is learning from life experience to be the best we can be.
Role models.
Role models, absolutely.
So this is your summer issue.
Yes.
And so can you tell us about the person on the cover?
Leslie Page. I was introduced to her through a young lady, Tanya Shanova.
And she's been here on my
yeah,
show,
she's
yeah.
been here. And actually, this is Tanya's future mother-in-law.
Right.
And when I met Leslie, they drove up to the Collingwood area, but I didn't know that they were, she was a pilot.
Okay.
So we continued, we had our conversation, and she had a turning point in her life for her when she was 50 years old that was impacted.
When she was 50?
When she was 50.
This lady here?
Yes.
She looks like she's like 37.
That's that's not Photoshop. She is that gorgeous. She had a turning point as a result of 9/11. And this impacted her, and she and her husband had some discussions about flying, because he had his pilot license but had put it at a bay, so because she didn't want to fly.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it was like, life's too short. I have to do something about this. Why am I holding myself back? So by going out and learning to get her pilot's license, her whole world opened up, and she's just much more outgoing and receiving of people around her.
So she was inspired by 9/11 to go and get a pilot's license.
Yeah.
You think some people
Yeah,
would
because life's
go
too
the other
short.
way,
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
So and then her life has changed as a result of that.
Exactly.
How has it changed?
she's semi-retired now. She's VP with Canadian Tire, and she just said, you know what? This is the lay of the land. I'm only going to work, 25 hours a week, and I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm only here once.
Good for her.
Great.
Yeah.
So, Lorraine, you do other things like the networking lunches, and you also have the TV show. Can we talk a little bit about that and how they came to
Okay.
be and where you're going with that?
The networking luncheon was a spin-off from the conference in 1999.
How many
And,
chapters do you have now?
8, and actually we're opening up another one in Coburg in the fall, so it'll be 9.
Oh, and that's
All
Yeah.
all women, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We've asked, should we open it up to men, but they go, no,
Not-
we
not
really
ready.
like
Yeah.
you know, how it's been created and how it's run. So the networking luncheons are an hour and a half in length, and we have a keynote speaker, and we do networking and cross-reference business cards. If I know that someone is coming for the first time, I will personally make sure that they're introduced to everybody, and I'm very hands-on. I know when it gets to Coburg, I won't be able to be as hands-on as I am in my area, because everything right now is only an hour and 20 minutes away from me.
So do you get to every single luncheon, pretty much?
I do.
Wow, that's
do.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a full month, you know.
Wow.
And 1 week I'm on the road 4 days out of the week.
Wow, and have time for the magazine and the TV show too. You are really busy. Really a
Now,
woman
when are
with
you going to
vision.
start working 25 hours a week?
You know what, I'm very good at time management.
Right.
That's
But you probably enjoy what you're doing.
I love it. You know what, I say I have the best retirement job in the world.
Right.
You know, I'm going to be 64 next month, and I just have a blast
Wow,
with
look at how
this.
amazing she looks.
Yeah, she looks
Yeah.
terrific.
And I'm not the cover girl.
And so, okay, what's happening with the show? It was on Rogers up in Barrie for several months.
Actually we ran it for 2 years.
Okay.
And we're on a bit of a sabbatical right now, redirecting how we want to do with this, and do we want to take it into a in-station talk show, or do I still want to be on the road with it? It's a lot of work, because I was on the road going from location to location. And
so you were doing locations and live cams and that sort of thing. And
absolutely.
Who were your guests? What was sort of the topics like?
It ranged from someone that was created dried flower arrangements. From her own garden. She would grow all the flowers and bring them in.
Oh, wow.
Showed us how to dry them, press them, put them into floral arrangements inside a picture frame. And we had one of the ladies that she's since passed, was the founder of WEC, Women Entrepreneurs of Canada.
Oh, wow.
And had always kept her finger in, empowering women and that type of thing. And she was a really great mentor to me. Who else have we had? Got my wheels going now.
So so what was it, like a 1 hour show or a half hour?
It was a 20-minute show.
Right.
And I would tape 2 of them in a day, depending on where we were location-wise.
Like 2 different interviews?
2 different interviews.
So it was like 2 10-minute segments?
No, 2 20-minute segments.
2 20-minute segments.
Yeah.
Okay. And where was it airing, did you say?
It was in the Georgian Triangle, which is Aurelia, Barrie, Wasaga Beach, Stayner,
Like on
Collingwood.
what TV channel?
On Rogers.
Rogers, okay.
Yeah.
So are you thinking about getting back into that?
Yes.
Or yeah?
Yeah. I'd love to do it again. I just don't think I want to be out in the road with it again.
So you won't need a studio for that. You'll need a
I'll
studio.
need
To come to you like we did.
They'll come to me, yes.
They can drive 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. That's a better way of doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
My vision for this, and
Yeah.
I've said it continually, that I would love to see this go across Canada. And each year we get a little bit closer, and we're actually in the discussions of franchising the magazine now, so that women in various communities can have their own publication and highlight and feature women
That's
locally.
great.
Yeah.
So then that just leaves one last thing for us to talk about today, and that is your coaching program. See, she's a real woman with vision. She's got so many things going on, and the last bit is the coaching thing. So tell us a little bit about that as well.
Well, the coaching actually began when I was a police officer, and then when I got into the fitness industry, it was women would come up to me after class and say, can I ask you a question? So it evolved very slowly. When I left my husband and decided, okay, what am I going to do? I went back to school and I took a course in validation therapy, which is specializing in working with the elders and the adult child. But I also recognize that this type of therapy is very good for any age. And then a few years back, I went back to school again and got my certificate as a psychospiritual life coach. So I've done many workshops in creative and insightful learning experiences through Peak Potentials, transformational coaching, this type of thing. So it all comes together. And what I found is that I use a lot of my sixth sense when I'm dealing with people. There's just something that I draw out, that all of a sudden they go, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. That's exactly, I think, why I'm stuck. Because I go back into the person's childhood, and you were talking about this earlier. I go back into the person's childhood because there's usually a blockage there that they're not recognizing, that is holding them back from the present. And it can be holding them back personally and professionally. And maybe their business is stuck, but it's something they've learned as a child and they forgot about. That when it's unblocked, all of a sudden their business just blossoms. And then we talk about, their plans for the future.
That sounds like an amazing talent.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, and the people come from all walks of life, all career paths, all ages. I work with corporates. I work with small business people as well.
And how do they find you?
Usually through word of mouth. We do advertise it in the magazine. I have a program called Luncheon with Lorraine, and these people can call me up and take me for lunch, and I do a 1-hour coaching session with them and find out where they're, where they're stuck. And then if they want to continue through that, then they can set up a 10-week program with me, and we go deeper into the situation and resolve it for them.
Have you ever coached any men?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
I can see actually that you might be very good with men as well as women. I think that men would open up to you.
Well, I would say a lot of my best friends are men.
Wow.
Yeah. They, we have, I guess, the buddy syndrome. There's a lot of trust there.
And now that your publication, you said, is a little bit more co-ed, are you ever considering putting a man on your cover?
Actually, we did have a section in the magazine called Vision for Men, and we did it as a 1-year pilot. And I've pulled it for a while, but I think it will be coming back in the near future.
Okay.
We just wanted to see what the response was, so it was.
And
what was the response?
Yeah,
excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So maybe you have a whole spin-off publication.
Yeah, well, that would be nice too.
And then you can have matching covers, one with a woman on it, one with a man on it. That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess the ideal would be that if they could come together, but I don't know if that's.
Well, maybe we could do the man on the back and the woman on the front.
There you go.
There we go.
That.
Yeah, or the man on the front. And I was kidding.
Well, there's lots of different ways. Anyway, so is there anything else that we can, would you like to share with us today?
I was listening to your conversation with David in regards to the pop culture demographics, and she's bang on. She's really bang on. It's when you do your market research, and you really get into the person's background, and you learn who they are, and you create a bond and a friendship with that person, that's when you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
It's not about making that sale. It's about how you can help that person grow as an individual and their business, because they are attached to it. They're very much attached to it. So it's, a lot of friendship and business.
And before we close out, I want to give you an opportunity to mention your website and everything. My
website is www.women, WOMEN, withvision.ca, and I'm available at 1-866-306-6021. And I want to thank you, Janette, for inviting me today, and it was lovely to meet you, David.
Very nice to meet you.
And I want to thank you for coming in and sharing all this with us, driving 3 hours no less to be here.
It's all right. Now I can go see my granddaughter.
Oh, okay, good. You really are a woman with vision, and I think it's amazing that you've been able to accomplish all these things in your life. I really look up to you, and I think I've known you, a good 14 years now?
Yeah.
I remember I first met you, I was just starting.
Yes.
And you gave me a lot of insight, and I never forgot.
Thank you, Janette.
Janette, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. And we'll be taking a break now and coming back with Sue Latcher and talking about the Colby assessment.